Welcome to another training video from XMPRO. Today we will be looking at input mappings, what they are, and how to use them in Data Stream Designer. So what are input mappings? Input mappings is the way an agent uses to define the sort of inputs it would like to receive. Once an agent has defined that structure of payload or inputs that it requires, they need to be mapped, and that is where input mappings come in. Mostly you would notice that action agents would have input mappings on them. First of all, the documentation of the agent would explain them, but you can also click on the arrow that is leading into an agent, and you would notice that this configure button will get enabled whenever that agent requires input mappings. So how do you configure them? You can either double click on the arrow, or you can click the configure button after you have selected the arrow. And you would notice that the screen will show up. You can maximize it to work with the screen. And over here, you will see there are two sides. Right hand side basically lists all the inputs that this agent is expecting. On the left hand side, you would see all the properties that your preceding agent is sending in, and you can then go ahead and map them. To map them, you simply select the option from the drop down, and then the mapping is done. And then you can save by clicking on the apply, and then save your use case for them to persist. Now, if you look at some of the advanced options in there, you would notice that across the top over there, you have a few options. First of all, we have an option to say, let's say, if you want to filter this list to only show the ones which are unmapped. So you can click on that and you'll see that only the unmapped rows are now visible. This is very useful if you had a big list. Let's say this agent was expecting 100 or more inputs, and there is only one that is unmapped. So finding that through a big list would have been a problem, and that's where you can use this filter. Next, you would notice that we also have an auto map feature, which basically, if you click on it, would try and find if there are any direct matches it can automatically do. For example, it found that on the left hand side, it had an option coming in called timestamp, and on the right side, the same option is being expected, so it would automatically make that mapping. You would also notice here that some of the options are automatically disabled. They are disabled because the type of those items don't match the input that is being asked over here. A handy tip here would be if you want to map something and the type doesn't match, you can simply go ahead and drag data conversion transformation, which will let you convert the data type of your attributes, and then you will be able to map them. Getting back to the top bit over here, you will see we have another option which says match by expression, starting with the prefix option where you choose what the prefix should be. So what that would do is, let's say I say device underscore is my prefix, and I click OK. It will go ahead and try to find items which match if that prefix is added to the right hand side. So it went ahead and found device underscore pressure would match pressure, and it has put that in. Again, these are the things which would help if you had a massive list here. Similarly, we have options for postfix, where you can type in the postfix and it will do rest of the mapping. For example, I can do that, and you'll see it has done vibration underscore current to the vibration. And lastly, we have an expression option where you can define an expression. For example, if I want, let's say, device underscore, and wherever you want to substitute the right hand side, you would put $1 for that expression, and then you can type in the rest of your expression. So what this will do is it will try to match any property coming in, which is device underscore name of the right hand side, which is expected, underscore change. You would notice that it has mapped device underscore temperature underscore change to temperature here. So those are some of the advanced options here, and that is basically how you use input mappings. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching.